Hello and welcome back to another Reaconteur video, and in today's video I will be going over what weapons are the worst in every weapon category, and we will only be going over endgame weapons, so we're not going to include literally every weapon for this video. Today's video is sponsored by Opera GX. Opera GX is currently one of the top web browsers designed specifically for gamers. If you're like me, you like to play video games. But if you're not like me, your PC starts heating up whenever you have any browser tabs open and try to play those games. Thanks to Opera GX's built-in CPU and RAM limiters, you can continue to game your life away without your PC fans kicking in. And if you're worried about losing all your plugins from your old browser, Opera GX is compatible with all of them, and you can easily import them with the Opera Quick Import tool. Make sure to download Opera GX by clicking the download link in the description and comment section down below. Opera GX is also now available on mobile, so you can download it for that as well, on iOS and Android devices. Make sure to check out my buddy Pouch. He makes funny Deepwoken music, so check him out in the description and comment section down.
Okay, so I'm walking down the street and my friend Reaconteur asked me, Couch, why is Great Axe the shittiest weapon in Deepwoken? Well, the Great Axe has no good talent compared to the Great Sword, which is amazing, epic talent, such as Reaconteur put on the screen the talents the Great Sword has. That's like 2 good talents. And the Great Sword has the coolest weapons, First Sight, Dark Soul, Great Sword. What the fuck does that Great Axe get? Great Axe gets the Enforcer's Axe. It's pretty cool, but it doesn't really do as much damage. Or they do a little bit more, but it still have the talents that Great Sword has. It's also like the Relic Axe. The Relic Axe is ugly as fuck. Like, the only Great Axe that's actually kind of cool in that game is Petra's Anchor. But it's just like, what's the point of you using that Great Axe when Great Sword just has so many better talents?
Great Hammer is honestly really good. With weapons like Petra's Anchor and Pale Morning, having blunt damage, which is easily addable with damage multipliers and talents, heavy Great Hammers are definitely very good. Well, at least for a heavy weapon that is, because they're pretty stale in the meta right now. As a whole, I'd say they're good. They're definitely a lot better than Great Axes in my opinion. I guess Agamatsu thinks they're pretty close, but I mean, I'm better than him. But that's fine. Great Swords are gross, and I hate to say it, but they are the best heavy in all of Deepwoken. Broken-ass talents like Destructive Recovery and Aggressive Posture make Great Swords super oppressive. That's not even mentioning Crit Blade, which deals like 70 damage per hit, before add-ons and talents. And even without Crit Blade, Darksteel Greatsword and Enforcer's Blade are disgusting. The only real downside to Great Swords is the end lag, but it really doesn't matter that much when your talents make up for it. Between medium weapons, there are 3 options. Sacred Hammer is the only good mace, because the other one is just the mace, and it's not an endgame weapon. I think if the new mace medium weapons were introduced, then they could potentially be better in the current meta, but in the current meta with a single option for blunt medium, they're just not very viable without a completely specialized build revolving around having Sacred Hammer. The Sacred Hammer, however, is still a decent weapon, especially because, you know, blunt damage can stack, and multipliers can stack on blunt damage. Whoa! So, it's still pretty good. Spears are good if you get the talents that benefit them. There are a few good spears, like First Light and the Alloyed Trident Spear, but the rest of them just really aren't worth using. Oh, except I almost forgot to mention whatever the stupid other spear is I forgot the name of, but it doesn't matter. But as a whole, spears are a decent and definitely viable option, despite how absolutely gay they are, because I do not respect Swords are just the meta. With Forgotten Gladius, Alloyed Falcons, and the Shattered Katana, there is pretty much no competition between swords and the other medium weapons. Swords are just definitely the best medium weapons, and maybe with Layer 2 we'll see more valid weapons within the other weapon categories like spears and maces. So, I hope that the meta will change sometime during Layer 2, but it likely will not, and swords will probably still remain the best medium. Honestly, I do not know how to rank light weapons. I would say solo or dual-wield gun is the worst of the 3, but not by very much. The only reason why guns would be considered the worst is because of the inconsistency in gun hitboxes, and the end lag on them is very painful. There is the off chance that you hit it from the back with someone and hit through their parry, which is always fun, especially to play against, but it's really not reliable. And if you're dual-wielding guns, you're kind of just weird because you could just use anything else with gun offhand. I would also say that daggers are also now slightly worse than fists and rapiers, and just slightly better than guns. The light weapons are all pretty close in strength. Daggers are good because they do a lot of bleed damage. I don't want to take potential enchants into account, but Bloodthirsty Crewlane users are pretty much just doing percent damage, which is pretty broken. If we were doing these based on the strongest possible build you could have with any of them, then I'd probably put daggers higher, but because this is supposed to be a video basing just the weapons and the average build, daggers are going to be better than guns, but worse than rapier and fists. Ever since the Crucible Rapier got added, they're a lot better. I think that the Crucible Rapier is essentially perfect at what it's supposed to be. It's fast, does decent damage, is really annoying, and has questionable penetration. But that's fine. Too bad it's overshadowed by the better version of it, fists. Fists are the best light weapon in Deepwoken. They're essentially rapier with slightly slower range and significantly more armor penetration. Range isn't extremely important because with fists you should be playing aggressive anyway, and ideally with a good build with most talents you would want for fists, you have even more tools to close distance. Not only that, but with the recent buff, you can switch fist styles mid-fight by just pressing Y. This allows you to go for a lot of mix-up combos in order to punish certain playstyles. As a whole, fists are definitely the best light weapon, and contender for one of the best weapons in the entire game, I would say, especially with the potential of mix-ups with offhand guns, and you could even use shields without the Captain Etria talent because it's literally broken. But as a whole, fists are really good, and I don't think that they really need a nerf. I just think that they need a nerf. Well, enjoy my Discord from the description and comments section down below. Have a good day, and good